But notice how they all are going to have a different answer for all of the questions. Even though they're all Christians, they don't all believe the same things. And there's actually very few things that they collectively all believe in. All right, welcome back to the party, everybody. I am your host, Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Let's party! So I got a fun one here for you. There's a channel similar to Jubilee, where we cover a lot, called The Cut, where they do this show called Drink or Truth or Drink, or whatever. And this version is atheists and Christians play Drink or Truth. And we have the caption here. What is the difference between a religion and a cult? So it's going to be fun. I hope you all enjoy it. Let's do it.
What's the difference between a religion and a cult?
There is none.
Got him!
Hi, I'm John.
Hey, I'm Jay.
I'm Kelly.
Mary Jane, nice to meet you.
I'm Abby.
I'm Chris. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So how do you all identify religiously speaking?
I'm atheist.
And I'm a Christian.
Okay, so
Atheist.
I am like Baptist Christian.
How long you been?
all right. So as they're doing the questions, we have to remember we have the atheist and the Christian.
Baptist? How long you been in the Baptist church?
Since I was born, I grew up in the church. My dad's the pastor.
A lifer.
I've been Satanist for about 4 years now.
I don't get Satanist. As an atheist, as an anti-theist, why go from one religion to another? Or no religion, which is good, to Satanism? Why?
I am a United Methodist pastor. Been a pastor for 27 years.
So this is the type of pastor that I would have followed. You know, I grew up in the Catholic Church, but, you know, long story short, when I was in middle school, we had moved to a Methodist church. So you can see he's got a rainbow thing on his lapel or his pocket there. That's the Methodist church for you.
Do you want to start with a shot?
Sure.
Are you doing baby shots or doing real shots? Okay.
Cheers
That's the atheist being like, what you mean?
to happiness.
To happiness. I think everybody can agree with that.
Do you believe non-believers are going to hell?
So again, we have the atheist here asking the Christian, do you believe non-believers are going to hell?
Why or why not?
I don't want to.
I do. That's very hard.
There's the part of me that's been trained to give a certain answer.
So again, this is the Christian here,
You know what? I'm gonna drink for that. I don't know.
which means, yes, you believe that simply because I don't hold the same belief despite my years and years of trying, reading the Bible, talking to Christians, talking to atheists, talking to other people, I deserve to burn eternally. Eternally. Not a life sentence, an eternal sentence. Drink up.
I'll do one with you.
Perfect.
That's one of the biggest things for me as far as being a non-believer is why can't I, being as good and kind of a person, I could be Mother Teresa, but if I don't believe in him, I'm shunned.
Yep, and this goes to, you know, politics in general, is that when you tell people that that's how you think, as a conservative with conservative values that are based on Judeo-Christian values and all that stuff, when you say that the only way to embody those values is to accept this claim, and that person can't accept this claim, then you're saying, well, you may not even, there's no point in even trying. There's no point in even trying. And then we get leftism. That's gone so well, right? Come on. That is why we need the Christian church and just the religion in general to stop gatekeeping morality.
I don't believe in a heaven and hell. What I believe is whatever is after this life, I would say is somehow a continuation of the ways in which we've lived our life.
Notice how so far only the two Christians, but I guess it's just the three couples here. But notice how they all are going to have a different answer for all of the questions. Even though they're all Christians, they don't all believe the same things. And there's actually very few things that they collectively all believe in.
What about Christianity or Christians are you jealous of?
The ability to believe that my life is wrapped in a safety blanket, has a plan, and somebody is watching over me. That I am so jealous. I would do anything to get that back. But unfortunately, my brain will not allow me to accept that claim.
What you jealous about us?
I would not have drank there. Why? That is your time to dunk and say what I just said.
The shade.
It's very romanticized being a
Yup.
Christian when you're on the outside. So I always was looking and being like, wow, that looks like what a real family looks like.
Ah, so we have our Satanist girl here. She seemed to have grown up without religion. And so by traditional religions, gatekeeping the things that she's talking about, instead of just finding a way, instead of there being a way for her to get that stuff, and for families to build on the framework of the morality that she's talking about, she turned to Satanism. Good job, Christians! You did it again.
My family is fighting every night. We don't sit at the table and pray. We sit in front of the TV with our TV dinners.
I think this
So, again, I bring up this question all the time, but would it not be better for someone like that Satanist to be able to just say, I'm an American, so I embody American values, and they have a big overlap with your values as a Christian, except it just doesn't have the belief part. But we believe in community. We believe in grace. We believe in forgiveness. We believe in all of these things. Nope. Now her family's just eating TV dinners, and now she's a Satanist.
There's a certain comfort in believing in an afterlife that is enviable, in a sense. So definitely the community and the sense of peace I feel that a lot of Christians get.
Between believers and non-believers, who is better in bed?
I generally don't know if I've hooked up with somebody who is religious.
The people
This is a dumb question. This is a dumb question. We all know the typical stereotype of the Catholic schoolgirl and being repressed. And I do think that to a certain extent that has some truth to it, but this is so individualistic. This is not based on religious grounds. What a dumb question.
you hooked up with,
Yeah.
did they yell, oh God, oh God, oh God? Because that's a hint. That's a hint. Are they religious or not?
They weren't, but that's probably because I'm just bad in bed.
No.
Do you even ask for the religion before you do the nasty?
No, I ain't worried.
Exactly. What are you talking about?
If there's one thing us gays are known for, it's fast and easy hookups where religion is usually not brought up.
What race and gender is Jesus?
I believe he is a male.
Regularly describe Jesus as a first century Palestinian Jew. So
Okay.
brown-skinned, Arabic. There's no way he is a blonde-haired, blue-eyed Jesus.
What are your thoughts on when people, whether they identify Jesus as a woman for themselves
Who identifies Jesus as a woman? What is going on here?
or no gender, no race, are you all like, that's okay?
Is God male?
Of course. He's going to say yes because Methodists have no rules. It's just, hey, we just believe in things and we come together and we do things and you don't have to believe that and you don't have to follow that. And how is that a religion? How is that a religion? And why? I'm not even saying that that's a bad thing, but why is that kept to only people who hold a certain belief? Why can't we all get together and believe whatever we want? Why can't we all get together and have dinner together? Why can't we all get together and have American traditions together? What does God have to do with any of it? This is a silly video, but it highlights exactly what is at the core of what is rotting America and bifurcating our society.
Absolutely not. Clearly not. Was Jesus?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure historically he was. But
Okay.
what did he represent? And the idea of divinity, that is beyond pronouns.
What about you? Do you believe that God is a woman?
I believe God does not exist.
Correct.
Hey, so question.
Yeah.
Do you believe that Satan as an entity exists?
I think she's going to say no. I think she's going to say that Satanism is representative and it's not about a belief in that. It's about following rules and being good to people and blah, 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 blah. A lot of people don't understand what Satanism is. A lot of Satanists do not worship Satan or believe in Satan.
I don't. For me personally, it's just a way of living where you live to be happy. You want other people to be happy no matter what they do, even if you disagree, and you help other people who aren't happy.
Sounds a lot like American values. Sounds a lot like Judeo-Christian values. But now we have to slap a religious label on it because otherwise, then you're just a secular heathen or whatever.
Basically, just don't be a dick.
Basically, just don't be a dick. Pretty much sounds like Jesus to me.
I think that would be a great slogan for the church. Don't you think so?
I love
Because I
that.
think that's really what Jesus was about. Don't be a dick.
Let's see what this next one is. Tell me about your most egregious sin.
Probably lying to my parents for money for drugs.
I used to scam people.
Been there. What did she say? I used to scam people? I never used to scam people, but I definitely, let's just move on.
It was pretty lit. I would get a fake profile, but it was really my friend. I would just use my friend's pictures, just chop it up with these dudes online who are definitely weirdos, and I would just tell them I'm about to link up with them for, some little sexual favors. As soon as they send me the money, I block them.
How dare you? This is the Christian woman. This is the Christian woman. Christian morality at its finest.
You want to know my most egregious sin? It goes back.
Okay.
This is like 20 years ago, before I became a pastor. I was so convinced that homosexuality was wrong that I put...
And why is that? Why did you think that, sir? Maybe the church had something to do with that. I wonder. What do you think? Maybe? Do you think the church had something to do with this guy having internalized homophobia?
Prayed that gay and lesbian people would go to hell. Not that they would be changed, not that they'd be converted, but that they would actually go to hell because they deserved it.
Does anyone think this guy is straight?
What was it in your brain that was like, it's better for them to just go to hell as opposed to...
No, I was that vindictive and
were just-
judgmental. It was horrible.
Between us,
At least he's honest. He was that vindictive. And that is what God, or belief in God, will allow you to do. Otherwise honest, otherwise gentle, otherwise kind, otherwise intelligent people will do things like hope for the death of an entire demographic of people. Why? Because God said so.
who has slept with more people, had more sex? Yeah, I've slept with one person my entire life, so.
I slept with more than 100 people by the time I graduated high school.
That is terrifying. That is terrifying. And while many of you Christians out there will say, oh, he needs God, I think that messaging is probably what pushed him to sleep with 100 dudes before he graduated high school. Maybe he needs love. Maybe he needs community instead of God.
That's impressive.
Between us, who has slept with more people or had more sex?
Probably you.
Definitely you. What are you talking about?
Ain't nobody hitting this.
I look like a hoe. That's what you're trying to...
No comment.
What's your money coming
What's
here
my-
for?
What's my number? What?
What's your number?
Let's do it on 3.
1,
Ooh, okay.
2, 3.
13. Dang, maybe I'm a thought.
Did she say 30? Is that what Jesus told you to do? Get ran down by 30 dudes? And this guy, the atheist, has only slept with 7 women. That's a respectable number. So maybe religion isn't all it's cracked up to be.
Sorry about it.
I kind of was a little bit of a hoe before I met my partner. Now,
Not surprising.
I probably got you beat. I'm at 21.
I'm 57.
I thought that was your body count for a second. I was like, whoa.
So I've been married for almost 30 years. So that really wipes out. But before we were married, I was kind of a hoe.
Yay.
I'm probably double digits, but maybe just over. That's probably something I should just drink to, huh? Yeah, to being a hoe.
So we're seeing that it's not even that much difference between the types of people. These are supposed to be diametrically opposed. People who have dedicated their life to God and the gospel and this and that. And a Satanist, a literal Satanist. And the same stories. So what is with all the division? Why is that good?
What about Christianity don't you agree with? What do you think is the most outdated thing about your religion?
Oh, there's a lot that I don't agree with. I am a
There's a lot that I don't agree with, but I still follow it and I still preach it and I still this, even though it's wrong and I don't even think that it's right.
very firm follower of Jesus, not a firm follower of the church, if that makes sense.
That's very convenient because I thought the rules came from on high. I thought the 10 Commandments came from God. I thought the Bible was inspired by God. But you can just choose whichever part you like. It's almost like you don't have a religion and you just really like a lot of Judeo-Christian values. It's almost like you don't believe in the religion. You just like a lot of the things that Jesus said and did. I say, shit, me too. I just don't believe that he was the Son of God. But I'm a I'm a heathen, right?
One thing I do not like about Christianity is a lot of people who are Christians go to the extreme. For example, at pride parades, you'll see them with signs talking about you're going to hell. And at the end of the day, the Bible says to love your neighbor.
It depends on interpretation.
Fair enough.
There's plenty of stuff in church dogma and doctrine and tradition that I don't agree with.
And there it is. That's the cope. Well, there's a lot of different interpretations. And there are. But that's exactly why it cannot be followed to the T. Because you have to interpret this, that, and the other. You don't know if your interpretation is right. Yet, not only are you living your life that way, you are preaching to others that they should live life that way when you don't even know that it's the right way to live.
Mm-hmm.
There's stuff in the Methodist Church that I don't agree with. Only until recently, like for 50 years, has ostracized gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender people. And that's horrific to me.
I agree. We should not discriminate against anybody. But that's the church for you.
Experienced a lot of sexism. I think there's a lot of gender roles that are completely outdated and not even biblically supported either.
I mean, they absolutely are biblically supported, and they may be outdated in your opinion, but other people may disagree and want to live life that way.
I hate that interpretation of scripture that
Oh, but it's just an interpretation, so it has nothing to do with scripture. It's just your interpretation.
it's exclusive to people. For me, it doesn't mean that the whole thing needs to be written off,
Does to me.
but there's a lot of pieces that we need to update.
You did it!
So, just a fun one there. Nothing, no grand wisdom to impart on you. I just thought it was an interesting thing to check out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Thank you so much for partying with me. Once again, I am your host, Lutch, a.k.a. the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Until next time, guys, remember, check me live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Until then, I am out of here. Peace.